Hello and welcome. It's Simon Zucchi here. I'm the founder and CEO of Crowd Property. And in this short video, I'd like to tell you about the new project we put onto the platform, which is a commercial to residential conversion in the town of Lye near Stourbridge. Now, let me tell you about Crowd Property before we start. Crowd Property is a peer-to-peer lending platform designed to facilitate loans between private individuals and professional property businesses. Crowd Property is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority under interim permission. Crowd Property is not covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. There are risks with any loan you make, and your capital is at risk. Crowd Property endeavours to protect all lenders. This is done by registering the legal first charge against the property project. This means that in the very unlikely event a borrower defaults on a loan, Crowd Property will be able to take ownership of the project and manage it for the lenders. So this is the actual project. As you can see, this is a property in the Metropolitan Borough of Dudley and was actually purchased by the prospective borrower 2 weeks before recording of this video. So the borough already owns this building. It's two detached buildings, a part single story and a part two-story former office building together with parking. Now, planning has been granted to convert the buildings from offices to C3 residential, and the application is P17/0754, and you can check on the Dudley Planning Council portal for that reference number. Now, obviously, whenever we look at a project, we insist on a RICS valuation on the current value, and then also a RICS valuation on the end value once the work has been completed. The current value of this property, according to the RICS valuation, is $210,000, and the RICS estimate is once it's completed, be worth $700,000. Now, Crowd Property have agreed to lend $347,000 for up to 15 months. 147 of that will be on completion of the loan, and 200,000 will be towards the cost of works. Now, Crowd Property always like to estimate longer than required for the loan, so we believe it will be less than 15 months, but we want to make sure that the borrower does not overrun on the time required. So here's the location. As you can see, it's just off one of the main roads. It's in an area that's mixed commercial and residential. It's not too far from Merry Hill, and also Birmingham is 9 miles in the other direction. It's actually 5 minutes walk from Lye train station just here, which is obviously really good access to the city centre. So here's an aerial photo of the picture. As you can see, the property is enclosed within the red mark. Immediately behind the property here is residential property. There are other commercial properties in the area. So it's a kind of commercial stroke residential area. This is the interior shots. As you can see, offices in need of some repair, but it's going to be completely refurbished and converted into residential accommodation. So there are two main buildings. So this is the ground floor of John Garth House. And as you can see, this is going to be converted into on the ground floor, 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms with a communal kitchen here, and then up on the existing floor, a 5th room. So this particular building, John Garth House, is going to have 5 rooms. This is going to be a very large 5-bedroom flat. Insurance House is going to have 2 flats on, 1 flat on each floor, so it's going to consist of 2 flats. So as you see, this is a 3-bedroom property, and again, 3-bedroom property here, okay? So these are the artist's impressions of the buildings. Here's the bedrooms with an ensuite facility, and I see large kitchen area as well. So just in terms of the size, the plan for the borrower is to convert these into residential units, large apartments, and eventually get permission to use these as houses of multiple occupation. So Insurance House, first of all, there's going to be 1 room that's going to be 20 meters squared. There's going to be 2 rooms at 13 meters squared and 2 rooms at 12.5 metres squared, with en-suites and separate kitchen and laundry rooms. John Hearth Gauss is going to be a mixture of bedrooms, ensuite and non-ensuite, from 14.2 to 14.5 square metres, with shared kitchens and communal areas. So, just an overview of the projects. Remember, the borrower already owns the buildings. He purchased it with bridging funds and his own finance just a couple of weeks ago. The current valuation of the property is $210,000 as the empty offices. The total cost of works to convert these into essentially 3 very large flats is £240,000. The contract has been agreed with a JCT contract with a builder, so that price shouldn't change. And the estimated cost of finance, fees and contingency for overrun is $95,000. The value of the property, once completed, will be $700,000. That will be for the 3 properties, and the intention is to use them as multi-let properties, and this is the RICS valuation based on the rental income that will be generated from these properties. The exit strategy is to refinance and hold. The developer wants to hold these properties, and so they should easily be able to refinance on commercial finance to more than pay back the crowd plus all the interest and get some of their own money out. So at Crown Property, we believe in responsible lending and borrowing, and the amount of loan is always based on the project and the experience of the borrower. So there's going to be one single raise of £347,000. It'll be initial fund of 147 to refinance out most of the purchase price and also get the developer started. Now, obviously, we always secure a first charge against the property, which is in this case worth £210,000. So what that means is the loan to value is just 70%. Now, the balance of the loan, the $200,000, will be retained in our solicitor's protected escrow account and released to the developer in stages subject to our monitoring surveyor's report. So in other words, as the developer adds value to the building, money will be released to them to pay for the work that's already been done. Now, the anticipated gross development value at the end is $700,000 based on the RICS commercial valuation. And what that means is the loan, the total loan of $347,000 will be reducing down to a loan to value of just 49.5% by the end of the project. So a very low loan to value. What this means is if we were to take the property back from the borrower, there's a lot of headroom in there for us to be able to sell or refinance the property to get monies back to the lenders. We always have the first charge on the property, which means we can take the property back if there's a challenge. So just to summarise details of the loan. Remember, the loan amount is £347,000, secured with the first charge against the property. The interest that you can receive as a lender is equivalent to 8% per annum. Now, the amount of interest you actually receive will depend on the length of the loan. Interest is always paid at the end of the project when the capital is repaid. Now, we believe that this will be a maximum of 15 months, but will probably be less. So in other words, you're tying your money up for 15 months. If it's the full 15 months, you'll be paid a prorated rate of 8% per annum, which would be equivalent to 10%. So if it's a full 15 months, it will be 10% for that 15 months. If it's only 8 months, it would be, if it's only 12 months, it would be 8%. If it's only 6 months, it would obviously be 4%. So the amount you get is prorated to the length of the term. We anticipate this will probably be more like 9 to 12 months, but we put 15 in just in case. There's always a minimum loan of 6 months. So if the borrower was to repay before 6 months, you'd still get a full 6 months of interest. And obviously, once the money's repaid back to you, you can just put it into another project on the platform to continue your money earning a good rate of return. The loan is due to commence beginning of Q4 2017. So beginning of October 2017, this loan will commence. However, the borrower is keen to replace the existing finance sooner than that. So based on the speed of the raise and obviously the legal paperwork that Crown Property needs to go through with the borrower, it could well be mid-September to beginning of October at the latest this loan will start. Capital is going to be repaid back to you at the end of the project when the properties are refinanced onto commercial finance because the borrower wants to hold on to these properties. This loan has been 100% underwritten. What that means is if you pledge this loan, it will definitely be starting, because even if the Crown didn't support it at 100%, our underwriters are happy to put their money into this project. So this loan is definitely going forward. You need to decide if this is something that you want to support. So just understanding our borrower is a gentleman called Michael Calaparis. He's the director of View Green Homes Limited, which is a new SPV which holds this property project. Michael's background is actually in 3D visuals and design works. He's worked for the BBC doing that. His property experience includes a refurb of a Worcester HMO, also the refurbishment of a commercial unit, a fish bar in Malvern, which £100,000 spend, which he owns on a joint venture basis. Also conversion of 180 Marks Road, which is property in London, which was a residential, is now let out. And then also he's converted his own house for the refurbishment of existing property to accommodate a disabled family member. So he's actually had quite a bit of refurbishment experience, but he's bringing in a team. This is a bigger project than he's done himself. So he's bringing in the expertise, the project management, to make sure this project stays on track. So we're very happy with Michael and the team he's been using on this. So first of all, make sure you understand the loan. The loan is for a maximum of 15 months. It will be a minimum of 6 months, and we anticipate probably somewhere between 9 and 12 months, depending how long the refinance takes. You will receive equivalent of 8% per annum prorated for the length of the loan. We always encourage our clients to do their own due diligence. We've always done significant due diligence of Crown Property. We've given it our stamp of approval. That's why it's on the platform available for you to fund. Decide how much you'd like to lend. You can lend from as little as £500 to as much as you want. Our average pledge is about £9,000 currently on previous projects. All you need to do to pledge is visit the website, register as a lender, and then make your pledge. We obviously conduct all of our necessary anti-money laundering checks on you. If you've already pledged, we've already done those on you. Now, once all of the money has been raised and all the legal work has been done, we will send you an email requesting you to send the funds direct to our solicitor's protected client account. You never send the money to Crown Property. It always goes to the Crown Property solicitor and held in their protected account. And they will then complete the loan agreement, make the initial payment to the borrower, and then they'll retain the rest of the loan and release it as and when the building works progress. I'd like to remind you that Crown Property is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority under interim permission, and Crown Property is not covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope you can come and support this project. Thank you.